I've decided what I'm going to do is go down here and work in this area today with my little hand battery powered cultivator. I'm wanting to rearrange these beds. So the first thing I'm going to do is move those steps, move some boards. Actually, I'm probably going to start. We can just walk down here. I'm probably going to start over in this area. So I'll probably just move those boards, those bags, and get this area started. And then I'll work my way down and over this way. When it's summertime, the part that I'm going to be tilling up stays sunny all day. Right now it's in a little bit of shade, but the position of the sun changes as we go through the season. So I guess since I'm down here, I planted these cabbages yesterday and a couple of broccolis in my bed with that kohlrabi, and they all look pretty great. Can you see that down there? Let's go look this way. Yeah, that's a rapini broccoli. Those are all different cabbages. They just really needed to be planted out. I've started them slightly too early, but they've been hardening off, and they've been in 20-degree weather and been doing fine. So I decided to go ahead and plant them out, and we'll see how it goes. My broccoli's looking great over, or my garlic's looking great over here. Let's see, let's take you in from the top and point you down. That's broccoli. I'm not sure how well it's showing up. Did I say broccoli again? Man, it's garlic. I am so out of it today. I never got my Stilby patch mulched or composted or anything, so I still need to do that. But yeah, I'm going to be working right there with my little hand tiller, and I'll come back and show you what I get done today. I don't know how much progress I'll make, but before I go up and put my things away, so when my batteries run out, I'll come on here and show you what I accomplished. Alright, here is what I got done yesterday with my little hand tiller. I'm going to walk up here. Okay, so the next order of business will be to get this spread better and tilled better, and then I will be removing these boards that made up this bed. The only thing in here is this one row of garlic. So what I'm going to do is remove all the boards and then just till all of this together, avoiding my row of garlic. So everything else will be tilled up. This part right here is the iffy question. I know that in the summer that this stays shaded. Right there is about the last spot that gets full sun when the trees are grown in. But we've cut a couple of branches out, so that might open up some. So what I think I'm going to do is, you know, keep this or maybe something similar for beans. And then behind it on this edge, I'm thinking of doing some shade-loving plants. Here's the view from this side. So I need to incorporate all this. I'm going to do all of this, and that structure will stay up until we harvest garlic. This structure still has, you know, I just put my cabbages and a few broccoli down in there. So that'll stay here until I harvest all of that stuff. But in the meantime, I might do this area, but I don't think it gets enough sun. I've never planted in that little spot, so I can't quite remember. So I might just wait and see and do that at a later time. But this structure will come out, and once all the garlic and all the broccoli are harvested, this will be incorporated into it too. I've got ideas of what I want to do, and I would explain it to you, but I don't think I could explain it in a way that would make sense. So I'll just say this, I'm going to do teepees, like some wooden teepees, and flank it in that. And then have a nice little planting bed down here, planting area down here. Last year I had potatoes, some beans that my dogs killed. I had a few of them that survived. I had peppers along this edge here and right there, and then I had those bags of corn. You can see them in the distance. I just moved them out of the way. I'm going to take those bags and dump them and reuse them somewhere else probably. Maybe not. It'll just depend on what I get into and how everything grows. So, let's see. Whenever the trees, it's a big mulberry tree. Whenever the trees are in bloom or have a canopy, this is all shaded, but this little edge here, we kind of started a little pile of just yard waste, hoping it would compost. It hasn't been turned or anything, but this little edge here, because it gets dappled sunlight before it gets into hard shade, I'm thinking about along this edge doing another like shade garden with some flowers in it. It might have bright full sun, but it might only last an hour or two. So the stuff that stays at least 6 hours or more in somewhere around here, at least before we cut. Sorry, I'm turning again. Hopefully it blocks that air. At least before we cut our trees out, some of the branches. And we've got a few more skinny ones we're going to cut out. But I'm just going to plan as if none of that's changed, because I know like about where it ends. So on this side we would be doing like some flowers that are shade loving, and then end our vegetable or whatever, our full sun stuff there. And if later I find that more of the field is sunny due to, sorry, I'm trying to let this wind pass. If more of the field is sunny due to us cutting out some of these little branches and trees along our road line, see, we're going to cut out some of the skinny stuff, and that'll open up some sun. But if it is more sun, we can adjust our beds then to, you know, make the area bigger. That area down there is going to be fenced in for our dogs. And then there's a section between here and where our fence will be that's pretty much shade most of the day. You might get an hour here, an hour there where it's got some dappled sunlight. I'm sorry about the wind. There's really not much I can do about it right now. I don't have a mic, and whenever I'm able to do so, I will get up a better system for sound. Until then, please bear with me. Alright, I'm going to get on to the next thing. I don't know where my camera was when it stopped working, when it cut off, so I just wanted to show you. I kind of incorporated all this. That part right there where there's still weeds and grass, that's going to be a pathway, so I'm not worried about it so much. But as you can tell, it's starting to look more like one garden space. Except for where I planted my garlic. Alright, that is it for today. My battery's about ready to die. Alright, my husband brought me home these sticks and rips from his work that I'm going to use to make teepees. And these I'm going to use to make beds because I need to plant my brassicas. So I guess I'm going to get started on that. Alright, this is our progress for the bottom so far. You can kind of see where we're going with it. I'm going to go to the top and kind of get to the bank up here and get an overhead view. I'll be right back. Alright, here's kind of what it looks like from above, and my dogs are playing in it. We don't have all of it in yet, so, but you can kind of see where we're going with it. So when we get further, I guess I'll show you more. Okay, we're going to walk down here, and I'm going to kind of show you what I've been working on with this little area. I may pop a picture of it before up in the screen, just so you can see kind of the before. Okay. All of this stuff will be cleaned out. You know, this is just a pile of where we've been throwing our junk, and those steps have been there, of course. So when I'm walking through this, everything's not perfect. It's all done with recycled materials, every single thing. And reclaimed, recycled, upcycled. So eventually you'll just walk down this way. I'm kind of going around because I've got to walk around this stuff. And then we will enter this way. You can see I've got these teepees. And there will be another square area going right here where this garlic is that matches this. And you'll be able to walk around. I really don't know what the best way to show this is. So I'm walking a path. You'll be able to go out this side here. And then I'm walking the pathway so you can kind of see. And then there'll be a pathway that comes out there, but also here, because this bed's only going to come to about right there, and that does leave a wide expanse. I think I am going to plant something down this middle area, but I'm not going to define it with boards or anything. I think I'm just going to like do a strip of something that's, you know, doesn't grow very bushy, and just kind of mulch around it. And then there'll be a pathway, a little planting area, a pathway, and then a bed over in this area. That becomes a bed. And then we'll walk out, and then this will be the pathway straight up. This stuff eventually will come out. There is garlic. Excuse me. There's garlic and brassicas in there. So that stuff won't come out right now. Eventually this structure will come out, and I'm sorry, let me get this cleared. My husband's working on cutting down some of the trees that need cut out, and so that's going to open up the sunshine in this field a little more. So once I live with it and see where my new patterns are for the sun and what times of day and all that, because, you know, the summer sun's different from the winter sun. So you can't really use where the sun's positioned in the winter to tell whether you're going to be full sun or not in the summer. So once we have that figured out, we'll get this all done too. And the way we've done this is, if we're able to plant more over here, eventually we can just continue off of this area. There's someone coming by, so I'm going to let them kind of pass. Baker. My dog likes to chase cars. That's well, we're getting it fenced off. So if you look this way, like if we are able to expand back in that field because it's opened up more, then we'll just build off of what we've got here. We'll just continue and add to it in some kind of pattern or way. Right now, most of that stays shade because of the canopy of these trees when they grow in. But I do know some of these are coming out. I don't know which ones or how many. Some of these little skinnier ones you can see, like that one right there. That's definitely coming out. A lot of this little skinny stuff will come out, which will open it up some, because even though they're skinny, they do have a bit of a canopy on them, not as much as the big trees. So anyway, that's a plan. I'm going to walk up this way and kind of get another overall shot. And then I will probably plant a tray of stuff here. That's why I wanted to get these teepees in, because I do need to finish up a few things with this bed. Like I need to tie more string around them. But they're pounded into the ground and they're tied up on the top. So I can plant, I've got a tray of stuff that either needs to be potted up or go in the ground, and I think it's kind of not worth the energy to pot it up whenever it could go in the ground. So I was trying to get at least this upper part done to where I could go ahead and put some stuff in the ground and get it mulched. Alright, I'm going to end it here for now, and eventually you'll get to see this bed when it's more finished, and it might make a little more sense to you. Alright, I'll see you in a bit. Alright guys, it's windy and rainy. It's the day after that last little clip, and I just wanted to come down here and show you what all I got accomplished. It's still messy. Let me grab these scissors. I was looking for these last night. I'm going to try to block the wind. I did put... Oh, sorry, I slipped. I wasn't paying attention to where I was walking. I was looking at my beds. So let me walk down here and kind of get an overview. It's getting windy. I'm sorry if you can't hear me. I'm going to try to speak up. But I got this all planted and mulched. They're brassicas. We are expecting some snowy and stormy cold weather, but these have been hardened off. And the reason I feel okay about it is because of that kohlrabi and that cabbage that survived out here all winter through our snow, through our ice, through all of it. And they're growing now. So these guys, I needed the space in my greenhouse. Like, there's some cabbage. Oh, I'm bleeding. There's some cabbage. There's some kohlrabis. There is some broccolis. I even got some celery over there. I don't know how they're going to do in the long run. I know that they're cold tolerant, but not quite as cold tolerant as some of the other stuff I have. But we're going to see. They were getting root bound. They were going to die anyways because they needed to be potted up, and I really don't have the space for them. And I guess that's my bad. I figured they would have a better chance of survival with their roots buried and mulched than they would otherwise. That little spot has no mulch because I haven't planted anything there yet. So I guess I'll come back in a few days to let you know how this survived this next cold snap we have coming up. You may hear my husband in the background, but I just wanted to show you some failures. We had a storm come through the other night with high winds, and this tray was knocked over and mixed, and it's a royal carpet alyssum, and baby's breath. So it's either one or both of those. I have no clue. This one was turned over. It was much fuller. It's white snapdragons and black print snapdragons, and it looks like I've only got 4 of those left, but who knows. Sorry, I'm not trying to turn real quick. I'm trying to find, there was another tray that was knocked over, I think. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I got rid of it, but here's the remnants of where it was knocked over. And then some of it obviously got mixed and knocked in with that dahlia. So I'm going to let those grow and probably transplant them out. And if any of the seedlings, like, I'm sure that that's a good seedling, I'll probably pop that into a tray. And any other ones as they come up, I'll either pop them into a tray or transplant them out. And also I wanted to show you that where it's tied to the post here, the wind whipping around did rip it. I'm just going to duct tape this seam back together. The winds were 50 plus miles an hour, so I mean, considering this is still intact and only flipped like 2 trays, maybe 3 out of the whole thing. Like, everything else was good. But what I did do is the winds were supposed to continue, so I came out here and I got all my little trays that were up on these top shelves and put them on the ground, and anything that was outside. Alright, I guess since I'm out here with my camera, I'll take you on a tour of my seedlings. These are all tomatoes. Each tag represents a different variety. So I'm not going to go through all of those. Some of them have sprouted, some of them haven't, because they haven't all been planted out at the same time. But I've got lots of pretty babies coming up. Alright, now that I've shown you those, let's go over here. These are peppers, and I think I planted some of them too early because I was told about slow germination, and I can see that because some of them did take longer. And these are all different sizes too, because they weren't all planted at the same time, and there's some tomatillos in there. I think that's what that is, or ground cherries or something. Guess I could just look at these need watered. It is a purple tomatillo. And this is the same thing. And that is a purple. So those must all be purples. Mixture of sweet and hot peppers. I'm getting some film with my pepper plants. Yeah, they really are. We've got this little guy, which is a mystery seedling. I bought a package of mystery pepper seedlings for, I don't know, $1. They were just mixed, and this one looks like it's going to be a variegated pepper. So I guess that's all of that for now. I'm going to go do some yard work, and then I will come back on. I also wanted to show you these trays that I seeded today. There's a bunch of different things. Some of them will be able to go out in my greenhouse, and some will have to go in under the lights. Let's see. So I've got some, like for instance, Feverfew Sunball, Orange Snapdragons, a Status Mix, Symphony Status, Summer Cypress Burning Bush, African Sage, Molten Fire Red Amaranthus, Pink Snapdragons, Emerald Amaranth, Dusty Miller, Cactus Dahlia, Morning Bride, Pincushion Flower, Pink Baby's Breath. Let's see, there's 2 more, so I might as well just go ahead and finish them out. An Ageratum Mix, and the Black Ball Cornflower. Alright. What I do when I plant these is since it's about, I'd say probably a month and a half before our predicted last frost, maybe a little less, what I do is I just overseed these, and then once they start get their first set of true leaves, sometimes I'll let them get their second or third set of true leaves. I'll separate them out, but since it's so close to being planted out, by the time they get that big, there's a good chance I can just do that and put them straight into the garden. If not, I'll separate them and pot them up. Alright, I just wanted to show you some of the other things that have been going on around here. Alright, I'm going to walk up here. As you know, I was digging out the irrigation trench. Well, I stopped it at a place where it was making water rush down on my bed and washed away some of the compost. So I'm carrying up a bucket of compost because I've dug it out since then, but I have no idea if I've dug it far enough because I never fixed the problem in the first place. So yeah, it looks like it's still coming down. It's actually moved over a bit. It was coming down in this area. Now it looks like it's coming down more in this area. So what that means, which I've known all along, is I need to come up here and do even more digging on this spot. So it's an ongoing process. Eventually it will be routed. Oh, puppy's barking. I think I'm going to end this little section a vlog off here for the week. Sorry if it's so windy. Let me turn. I was just kind of wanting to show you some of the problems I'm dealing with, to kind of show you that it's not always smooth sailing. My snapdragons are still growing, and of course, oh God, if you have dogs without fencing, that's just what's going to happen. Alright, I'm going to put this compost on, and I will see you guys in the next one.